Hi everyone, thanks so much for checking out this video today. Today is going to be a comparison slash battle video on these two products. It's the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy and then the IT CC Plus Eye Color Correcting Concealer and Anti-Aging Brightening Serum. So the reason I really wanted to do this is because I have tried both of these products. This is my second tube of this and I think my third tube of this over a long period of time, and I thought, you know, comparing the two might be useful for anyone who wants to invest in this specific type of skincare product but doesn't really know what the differences are. I'm going to kind of outline that in this video, hopefully quickly, because full disclosure, I'm afraid my camera battery might actually run out shortly. So in terms of price, this one is $36 for 0.34 ounces and this one is $29 for 0.33 ounces. So you're getting the same amount of product, but this product is $7 cheaper. In terms of where you can get it, you can get this at Sephora, probably other places too, but Sephora is where I get all of mine, and then you can buy IT Cosmetics at Ulta. So it is possible to see and test these out in person on your skin, and as you guys know, I highly recommend you do that because you can know your skin tone, but you can always be surprised by how something shows up on your skin tone. And as a nod to my last video, it's always good to distinguish between hand swatching and actually swatching on your face. Wherever you can do that is probably a good idea because, again, colors can show up differently depending on where you're swatching them. So basically what's cool about these is that they're multitasking skincare products. They're under eye creams. Each of them have a metal dispenser. So it looks like this. This one is the First Aid Beauty. This one is, this one is IT Cosmetics. So, you know, very different from the traditional eye cream in a jar. And the reason for the metal dispenser is because there is an old school kind of beauty hack where people put spoons in a freezer, and right before a big event or anything like that, they take the spoons out and they're super cold and they put the metal up against their skin, and it serves as an instant depuffer and brightener. And so these metal dispensing tips are kind of the beauty industry's way of kind of modernizing it and making it more portable. And I think it's such a win-win. I'm a huge fan of this type of product. I will always have at least one in my collection because not only is it instant gratification, the cream provides some brightness under your eyes, so it's like a light concealer, but also over time, I mean, like basically, you know, using a metal kind of dispenser under your eyes not only feels so good in the moment, but over time and with consistency, I'm almost positive that anyone would see a reduction in like the bags and the darkness under the eye. And again, in the moment, it feels so good. So that is kind of the why behind this exact type of dispenser for the eye cream. The First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy says instantly brighten, depuff, and smooth. And again, as I said before, IT Cosmetics markets this as a concealer and an anti-aging brightening serum. So you're kind of getting similar benefits from both. Now, in terms of shade selection, the First Aid Beauty one has two shades. They have a fair to medium and then they have a medium to deep, or fair to light and medium to deep. Now, what's funny is that I have been using this product for so long that I used it when they didn't have the medium to deep option, and I have stuck with the color that I've always had. So this is actually the lighter shade. It's the fair to medium, I believe it's called. I'll clarify and put it in the description box below. But it's actually one shade lighter than what someone would intuitively suggest for me. And for the IT Cosmetics, there's 5 shades total: fair, light, medium, tan, and deep. I would normally be deep for, let's say, a tinted moisturizer, but I'm actually medium in this product. And medium is the middle shade. It's also their most popular shade if you check their website. And I will say that, you know, it is worth, with this particular product, taking what you would normally get and going one shade lighter, because it's only a cream. It's not even a heavy duty concealer. One shade lighter will brighten underneath even more, but it will also quickly blend into the skin because it is a skincare product. It's not a full coverage makeup product. So Now, the biggest thing is the difference between the two, besides the price, is the shape of the metal dispenser. So if you can tell, First Aid Beauty is on my, I guess my left, and then this one is the IT Cosmetics. If you can tell, the First Aid Beauty dispenser is first of all bigger in terms of surface area. This one's larger than this one. It's also curved. This one is like more curved. This one is flat. The IT Cosmetics is flat. Now, and then the final difference is that the product you can see for IT Cosmetics comes out of that little hole that is smack in the middle of that flat surface dispenser. First Aid Beauty, you can see the curved dispenser has no hole to dispense the product here. The product comes out of that little hole right at the tip. So basically, there's pros and cons to both. To circle back to the color really quickly, the light shade of the First Aid Beauty is very peach. There's a lot of peach undertones. This is actually, in my opinion, a very good thing because we all know that under eye darkness, it tends to be blue, and so it's kind of commonly said in the makeup world that for under eye concealer specifically, it's good to have peach undertones to counteract the blue of the darkness under there. So I have tested both. This morning I actually did one on each eye underneath my makeup, and yeah, without a doubt, this one brightens a tiny bit more by virtue of the fact that there's peach undertones. This one has slightly more neutral undertones and blends into my skin a little bit more. So actually, I mean, it's kind of you know, it could go either way. If you really just want peach undertones to even peek through under your makeup, you know, this might be a better bet. But if you're just putting on a little bit of eye cream and you're running out to brunch, this one will still brighten if you get like one shade lower than your normal shade, but it also will not pop the way peach does because it's, I think the undertones on this one are slightly more neutral. So, and then in terms of the dispenser, well, before I get to the dispenser, so color-wise, if you want peach to directly counteract under eye darkness in the moment, I think this one is probably better. Having said that, IT Cosmetics is much more pigmented and much more full coverage. A little bit goes a long way with the IT Cosmetics product. For this one, it's less pigmented, and therefore you kind of need to use a little bit more product to get the same effect. So that's a plus for the IT Cosmetics. So now we're kind of tied 1-to-1, in my opinion. And then finally, the dispenser. First of all, I prefer the flat dispenser because it lays flush against your skin, and honestly, it's just easier to control than kind of a rounded one, even though technically the rounded dispenser is more like the traditional spoon, cold spoon technology of like the Beauty Hack from back in the day. But I prefer that it lays flat against the skin, so kind of another plus for this. However, the final point that's going to kind of tie it up here, this dispenser of coming out kind of that hole at the top, this one makes the product much easier to dispense and to manage. This one seems like a good idea in theory, that the product is coming right out of the middle here. Having said that, I can tell you guys right now, for as much as I've used this product and I've even repurchased it, I struggle with dispensing the right amount. I always dispense a little bit too much, and because it's so full coverage, it looks a little bit like too much on my skin, and I usually have to, I would say 60-70% of the time, have to take my finger and like use my finger to blend it away, because just using the metal dispenser is not good enough at that point. At least with this, it doesn't have a ton coming out. It's easier to just do 3 dots, and you can always do more if you need. And with any product in the world, especially anything that comes out of a tube, it's always easier to add more. You obviously cannot take excess and put it back in the tube. So you can tell that it's kind of tied up, like they each have their pluses and their minuses. This one is $7 cheaper. This one has more of a shade range. You know, this one kind of has the peach undertones. It's easier to dispense. So, you know, and you can try both of them out in person, and I suggest that you do so. So you can kind of tell it's a personal preference thing. They're both pretty successful products in their respective ranges. First Aid Beauty, this is one of their best known products, I believe. And, you know, I think this one has been pretty, you know, well received for IT Cosmetics. So honestly, they're very tied, and hence why I'm holding 2 bottles in front of you. I actually can't decide sometimes which one is my favorite. You know, the second I kind of think, well, I prefer the flatness of this, and then I dispense too much and that frustrates me, and then I go back to this one. And then I like that I can dispense however much I want and control this one better, but then I'm concerned about the fact that this one is a better color match or whatever the case. So I hope I didn't rush too much. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping to wrap this up before my camera dies. But I hope that was a helpful kind of step-by-step breakdown of the pros and cons of both of these products. And yeah, I hope, you know, you guys try one of them, or, you know, if there's other products out there in this same genre and category. I definitely think it's such a plus to have something that's instant gratification in terms of a brightening color under your eyes, and also it like feels so good to hold the metal against your skin under there. And also, you know, there's short-term instant gratification benefits, but then there's also the long-term benefits of if you used the metal tip against your skin, you know, consistently in your skincare routine, you know, over a really long period of time, honestly, it would depuff, and I think your eye area would look a little brighter and fresher over the long term as well. And finally, I'm going to have another video coming up in the next, you know, couple weeks on my skincare, basically products that I use first thing in the morning. If I'm not doing my makeup, but I want to look cleaned up and refreshed and bright if I'm running out somewhere without doing my makeup, I definitely have a handful of products, including these, that I reach for. So I'm excited to do that video for you guys as well, and I hope in the meantime this video was helpful and informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.